do you have?
Candy.
What kind?
It.
Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?
I got one for you. I got one for you.
You're an ass. You should have sent it to me before or something.
Like I sent you one piece of candy through the mail. That's conspicuous. That looks like I'm trying to like host the show alone. If I send
That's
you one
creepy.
piece of candy through the mail. No, okay. So I like okay. I love weird offshooter candy. So this is made by Tootsie. Made by Tootsie. I didn't know that was the brand. It's like the Tootsie, like Tootsie Roll. Tootsie. This is a fruity. Have you had a
Oh,
fruity?
yeah, way back when I don't think they were called that, but it was like a flavored Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, they make like vanilla, strawberry. This is the fruit punch fruity. It's Halloween season. All the cool candy's out, so I
What's your
felt the need to get
Halloween
it.
candy?
What's my Halloween candy of choice?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Was there one that you
So
were really excited to see?
as a kid, it was probably a lot different than I am now.
Yeah.
When I was little, a Butterfinger was my go-to. Like if I see a bunch of things in the bowl and a Butterfinger, I'm probably reaching for the Butterfinger.
Little box
Uh,
of nerds. The little mini boxes of nerds, I would get so excited over those.
See, I never got that excited over those.
Oh, I love nerds.
What was your
And
thought
I'm
on
one of those ones
Smarties?
I like Smarties.
Really?
Like Smarties.
See, I'm not a Smartie,
Our
sweet
buddy Bob,
tarts,
our buddy Bob,
nerds
actually
person.
just recently, do you remember the? They're almost like a Smarties lollipop. They're a lollipop, and it's one big Smartie on top of it.
Oh
And
yeah, like
he ordered a bunch of them off of Amazon and brought some by the other day randomly. Like, actually, maybe he's trying to kill me.
sometimes, or those are the ones that are sometimes very they're kind of galaxy themed. Sometimes you see
Yes,
them like
and they're
planetary
delicious.
and pink and like galaxy colors. Okay, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So, as a kid, I would reach for like the Butterfinger.
Not a
I
good
like
pop.
Skittles.
Yeah.
Um, I do like Dum Dums. I
Ooh, that
like
was a
because I
good one.
love the flavor variety of Dum Dums. When you're a kid, there's like root beer Dum Dums and bubblegum Dum Dums, and
I still associate Dum Dums with the bank.
with the bank. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, the bank I went to as a kid didn't have the Dum Dums. They had the same lollipops you would get at the doctor's office that had the loop,
Oh yeah.
like the little paper like loop at the bottom instead of a stick. I guess they didn't want
Paper
kids
loop.
choke, or
Oh yeah. It's like a little.
instead of a
It's
stick,
more of a.
it wasn't
It's a round
paper.
stick. It's a
Yeah,
round
but it
stick.
was soft. I feel like it was like to prevent a kid from like
I
jabbing
feel.
themselves in like the fucking face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. What you drinking? You're drinking something.
That was just soda water. That is black cherry flavored soda water, but it is time to have a drink.
We always have our non-alcoholics, and mine is always randomly a Mountain Dew sitting beside. You guys didn't see it before we were on, but right before, just to cleanse the palate, a nice splash of Mountain Dew for me. Tonight, I'm going back to one of my favorites. We're going to go back to the Four Roses Single Barrel. It's almost time for something new, I think, in the bourbon or whiskey family. Uh, Maybe we'll do that next week because I did get the new mezcal last week. And this week's glass of choice is from the Braxton Brewing Dark Charge Block Party.
There you go. So I'm actually
Those parties
drinking.
were crazy. Do you remember those? Like when you would do the barrel draws with the nail.
So to say, do you remember
Well,
them
yeah,
is a tough thing. A stout beer like festival or party is a tough thing to survive.
I don't. I
Um,
the drunkest. One of the drunkest I've ever been was that, and I remember it was in the. I was miserable. I didn't
it's
drink for a long time afterwards. I quit smoking cigarettes after that.
it
Like,
was always any of those like super dark beer nights when we did the Perrin beer night or we did Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Stout or like any of those like
Goose
big stout
Island,
nights.
Bourbon County.
Bourbon County. Bourbon County.
Yeah,
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Love a good cork though.
that's a good one there. Is that Ridgemont?
1792.
Oh,
Old
I mean,
Ridgemont
that's
Reserve.
1792. Sorry, I can't get that out of my head that it's just
I
Ridgemont by
say it
itself.
I say it every time I pick the bottle up. I'm actually still on the ice train this week. I've been putting ice in my whiskey.
Cheers.
For
I
the
went with the
cheers.
whiskey stone. I'm not going to dilute this guy
There
tonight.
you go. We're here seeing in the chat the safety pop is the name of the sucker with the loop. That's true. But I also think it was like safe hyphen T hyphen pop. I think they tried to like make it cute.
It's too many hyphens.
Too many hyphens, more than one hyphen. But yeah, no, the safety pop. My bank had those. My bank didn't have Dum Dums, so I don't associate Dum Dums as much with a bank. But those are like one of my favorite things to get because I love the different like. There is a creamsicle flavor. Sounds super silly, but it just tastes like or not creamsicle. No, cream soda. Cream soda. That
Noted.
one's fantastic.
Noted. If I ever need to get you a popsicle to feel better or something like that.
One specific. I'm only going to get him one Dum Dum lollipop.
One Dum Dum.
One Dum Dum for the Dum Dum.
You get one Dum Dum. You get one piece of candy corn. You get one. Are you a candy corn fan?
So I'm not normally a candy corn. Okay, I think there's candy corn in my house.
I like a lot of those
it's
garbage
a fun
candies, as some
decoration.
people like to put them.
Regular candy corn, not super into. However, you know when they do the same material, it's the same material, but the pumpkin, like the candy pumpkin that's made out of the same stuff as the candy corn.
Yeah.
Those are fantastic.
You always bite the stem off first.
There's something about the size texture ratio that I like that. I like that texture more in the larger pumpkin format rather than like the little small candy corn niblet.
Here's an idea: eat 3 of them at the same time.
No, it doesn't do the same thing.
No, you want round that tastes different to you.
It's too much of that waxy surface. I like the soft, like crumbly inside. I think you get more of that with the pumpkin. Whereas the candy corn, it's smaller, so you got more of that harder outer kernel surface. This is riveting entertainment.
I know. I'm thinking at the same exact moment that you said that. I'm like, yep, this is the hard hitting material here. Pumpkin to candy corn pumpkin ratio. I don't know. I liked a lot of those candies that people make fun of you for.
Are you a pixie stick kid?
The garbage candy. Oh God, I've got a pixie stick story. Oh man.
Were you a pixie stick kid though? Would you enjoy pixie sticks?
Oh, I love pixie sticks.
So
the only time I have ever been suspended from school in my life was over pixie sticks.
How
if I'm not mistaken, I was in 3rd grade.
Do I want to guess how this
My mother can verify. I'm pretty sure I was in 3rd grade. But
okay.
Do you want to guess what?
How that happened? How a pixie stick got you in trouble?
Sure.
Mistaken for a substance? Selling them. Were you selling them?
Oh, if you combine both of those.
You were selling them instead of you were pretending it was cocaine and selling pixie sticks?
So here's how it went down.
Here's how it went. Well, what happened was
one kid, he was let's just say the Escobar of pixie sticks. He had all the pixie sticks. He was the ringleader.
Papa Sucre.
Yeah, and he just said, you know what's funny? We were at recess. You tell the 2nd graders these are drugs, and you see if you can get them to sniff them. And I said, why? What do drugs? I remember even asking why. What do drugs smell like? Because I didn't know you sniff drugs. My dare officer apparently hadn't gotten to that lesson yet. They were still trying to convince me that marijuana was a gateway drug. Anyway, dare, you really worked good. No, I'm just joking.
It's a gateway drug to Uber Eats.
It's a gateway to Uber Eats. It's a gateway to Taco Bell.
Yeah. It's a gateway to greasy food.
So yeah, I remember that I poured it in my hand, and we would go to different sections. Would you like to buy some drugs? Would you like some? And
first off, you You were trying to
It was
sell,
blue. I used a blue one too. I remember it was blue.
but just selling it raw dog out of your
Yeah,
hand?
yeah, out of the
Just
hand.
walking around. Could you
Well, you couldn't go
imagine?
up with the pixie stick wrapper. That would be
But you
obvious.
didn't put it in like a baggie or like a
We're
cup
in third
or
grade.
like
We are not professionals.
not professional, but you were just you want to sniff my hand for
How long did,
$20. How much were you charging?
let me explain this. How long does recess last? Like 20 minutes?
Apparently long enough for you to sell drugs.
This idea was come up with
Okay.
during a recess and happened during a recess. It was not well thought out. There was no preparation. It was a kid running around, different kids. Do you want some drugs? Do you want some drugs? We would put them in our hands, and it was funny. Ha ha ha. I think they got one kid to smell some candy. And yeah, I remember it was blue. And then, yeah, I ate it. And I went back to my classroom. And fast forward to
What
there's
grade?
a
What grade was this?
third.
Third grade.
Third, if I'm not mistaken.
What
I
was I
remember the
talking
hallway at the school, but I remember that there was a little knock at the door and a student with the principal. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And the little student comes in and goes, "There's one of them.
One
There's
of
one of
them.
them."
You're one
Yeah,
of them,
two of them. They pointed out two of us in that room.
but you're
And then it got to
identified
be
as
all
you're
five.
them.
Yeah, yeah. There's one of them.
There they
Yeah,
are, officer.
yeah. And I got suspended, and I still like at the time.
How long
Looking
is a
back
third
now,
grade suspension?
it was one day.
One day. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So okay.
yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I don't know. Mom was pissed.
Okay.
You go home to your parents who are not happy that you're suspended, and that works. You don't sell pixie stick, and we weren't even trying to sell it. I think we were just offering it. First time is free, but yeah, it was a stupid kid thing, and it's the
So
one thing I will always remember when I see a pixie stick. It's so dumb. It's funny that you bring that up. Oh God,
see,
memories that I
I've
don't
been
expect
real
to talk.
expelled, but never suspended for selling like fake
No,
drug,
weren't selling it, offering it.
aka. Okay, so what was the real problem? Is just that you were like, what was the real grievance? Is that you were telling kids it was drugs?
Kids were scared that there was drugs being pushed on the playground.
So
Apparently, word got around that drugs were on the playground.
so you said they were drugs?
That's what. Yeah, I think that's how we approached it.
You told kids want some drugs?
Yeah,
Okay, so
if I'm not mistaken.
you deserve to get in trouble.
I mean,
I was like,
I'm pretty sure
I
they
was
said.
like they
I'm trying to think.
overreacted.
I'm trying to think if the kids said cocaine or if the kids said drugs or just you want to sniff it.
In third
It was
grade, I hope you didn't say
basically.
cocaine.
I don't think we did. I think I was too stupid. I think we were too stupid to even know different ones. I mean, I'm amazed looking back now at life and children that I even knew what was going. I don't know. God, we're dumb as children.
I mean, I was worse as a teenager. Sidebar: have I told you my trench coat story? You talking about getting suspended makes me think about this. Is that I, unbeknownst to it, wore a trench coat to school on the day of Columbine
The actual day.
while it was happening.
Wow.
I wore a trench coat anyway. I was one of those kind of kids. I wasn't because of the Matrix. I was into goth and metal music and like
He was into Silent Bob.
yeah,
It was a
yeah.
Kevin
It was
Smith
I
thing.
was a '90s thing. I was one of those like burnout '90s kids, and like I wore jean shorts and a trench coat and like a Megadeth T-shirt. Like,
If you
that
don't
was
mind
how
my,
I
if you
looked.
don't mind my saying it, two things that go together, three things that go together: a metal T-shirt, a chubby kid, and a duster.
That's all you got to do. The metal T-shirt makes them know that you mean business,
Yeah.
and the duster shows them that you're not all right. Like everything's not okay. But so I don't know this is happening. Of course,
No, of course not.
I'm always late to school. Like I'm late on a regular basis. Like I used to work this thing where I would go wait at the side door and like knock wait for classes to start changing, and I would knock on the side door and then I would like start banging really hard to where somebody in the hallway would just open the side door and go, "Huh, what's going on?" And that I would just walk in the school and go in the side door, and that's how I would get to class.
It's a heavy kid in a duster aggressively banging on the side door.
Well,
Should we let him in?
this
Hang on.
particular day, I don't go to the side door. I'm there at just a weird time where I'm like, it's not between class. I gotta go to the front office and just tell them I'm late. Okay, cool. I just have to admit that I'm late. So I go walking into the front door. As I'm when you're walking up the steps into my high school, it's like the double doors open. You go up a stairwell. You would from that point go into the school, but right at the top of the stairs there's an office, which is the principal's office, the secretary, and then over here is like a conference room. The principal, I've never I to this day have never felt a human come at me this quickly, and grabs me, yokes me up, and charges into the conference room. I had a comedic relationship with the principal and the vice principal. Like
Apparently.
I was not a troublemaker. I was a kid. Okay, I was in her office a lot, but they were like, "You're not like a dangerous kid. You're just an idiot." Like they knew I was just a little dumbass. I wasn't like terrible. So he just bear hugs me, throws me in this room, and goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm late." Because I'm freaking out as a teenage kid, and I'm like, this principal just like literally yoked me up and threw me into a room. I'm like, what is happening? He goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm late. I gotta get a note." He goes, "Why are you wearing that?" "What? Why are you wearing that?" And then he starts to explain what was happening. I take my coat off immediately. I ball it up. I mash that thing into a tight ball. I'm just like, here, take this. I will come get it. I will get it some other day.
Yeah.
Some other day. And left it at that. Went about class. Went about my day. And yeah.
And that is how you get every drop of humor out of a story.
Out of a trench.
So anyway, what have you been playing? What have you been working on?
So lately I've been, and you're
Watching?
You're gonna be mad because you've been trying to get me to play WWE 2K24 with you a lot lately.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
I've been playing it a decent amount lately. I actually picked it up and I started a universe mode. And what are you scratching on?
What's that?
What is that scratching noise?
I don't know.
Sounded like something was you were cranking or rubbing something or like rotating.
I don't know
something.
what to do with my hands.
It sounded like a lighter or something, like the wheel of a lighter rotating. But
and my cat's laying here quietly, so I'm terrified. Anywho,
so I've started playing that game. I've started
I love the universe mode. It's all I play because basically that's how I do my exhibition matches that I would play for. It's just I'm going through the universe. I'm like, oh, here's a good time for me to interject, or let's let this storyline play out, or I'm going to set up this rivalry.
You're doing full sandbox universe mode.
Yes.
Explain to the people what that is versus the other mode.
It's basically instead of just following one wrestler, you're looking over WWE almost in a each show you have full control of.
Are you playing Wrestling God?
Basically, yeah, just kind of manipulating my universe. Money in the Bank goes the way I want it to. Cash-ins happen when I need them to. Yeah, I've been doing the universe mode for a few years. There's ways like set it up at the beginning. Like I move my characters at the end of every wrestling season. Certain people will come up from NXT. I have certain teams go down to NXT. I have rotations and stuff. It's absurd.
You're far more ambitious than I am. I'm simply playing Superstar mode.
It's my role-playing game, yeah.
See, I'm playing Superstar mode where you're one person.
Who are
Pick a
you?
guy. Who do you think I would pick?
You're Cody.
No. I wanted to start at the bottom. Well, I wanted to start not at the bottom, but I wanted to start. I'll tell you this. I wanted to start in NXT.
Braun Breaker.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
He's
First
fun as
off,
hell to use.
He's fun as hell to use.
Yeah.
His character. Okay, there's a lot of cool characters in the game.
Do you know about the singlet yet?
What do I mean? Does he take it down?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that now.
There's a taunt. It's like a right stick click taunt. I got to figure out what it. The hell was that?
Is your house haunted?
That sounded like a notification of some sort on something, but it sounded like it was in my ears on the computer.
Probably was on the computer because I heard nothing.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's weird. There's nothing on my computer that. Okay, so anywho, wow, what was I saying?
Universe mode, Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
the
Brown Baker.
strap.
Okay,
The
strap. Yeah, yeah. It's just a simple taunt where you do the taunt button and you click the right stick, and the guy will rip the singlet down, and it gives you a little burst of energy.
I love his move set, but also the way that you role play through the entire universe mode. I'm not fully role play, but I enjoy. I'm Braun Breaker when I'm playing the game, and it's cool living that life. And I feel like it'd be hard to do that with like a Bray Wyatt or like really even a Cody or somebody like that. It's easy for me to like, okay, I'm this young ex-football player who his character really is, he's just a badass. It says it on his tights.
Yeah.
And he's just like a wrestler. He's not a gangster or like a ninja or some kind of extra character. He's just a dude. That makes it really fun because I went through a few cool storylines. I went through NXT and then went on an undefeated streak once I won the North American Championship.
Yeah.
Then won the NXT title, had 2 belts. Then I decided, okay, it's time to move on to Raw. So I've got both my belts on Raw. I all of a sudden get looped into this storyline where it's me, Braun Strowman, and Bronson Reed in
nice.
like a huge like rivalry that ends up in like a SummerSlam 3-way match that's a backstage brawl, and I ended up spearing Braun Strowman through like an ambulance back or some shit like really
nice.
Cool moments that if you love pro
don't
wrestling,
the matches play out fantastically? What did I tell you? The matches play out. They feel like they're paced really well.
Have you had
Everything
a lot of
makes
backstage
sense.
matches with more than 2 people? Where like,
I haven't done a lot of backstage.
It's actually really fun.
Those are special occasions.
When you're moved to different people. Well, that rivalry for some reason had a bunch of like we kept fighting and brawling in the back. So
I'm amazed at how much fun I had with the ambulance match.
I did one just randomly on the side just for fun.
Yeah,
those are really cool. I do like how you can interject in Superstar mode. You can interject a match type. So if your rivalry is really heating up and you go, okay, it's time for a cage match, you can do that. You can go, okay, the next match is a cage match at this event. But like just being able to change perspectives. Like I suggest you for funsies have a 3 or 4-way match that's a backstage brawl and have everybody go in different directions and change your focus. You know how you change who you're focusing on?
Oh yeah.
The way
it's
the
crazy.
camera will switch looks incredible.
Yeah. We could make this happen, next week. Maybe we have a Thursday night fights. We could start a title belt. I wonder if there is I know you can create a belt. But what would be nice is if that belt could transfer between us, the consoles.
I tell him I'm playing a game, and he's planning a title belt switching universe.
Yep. Oh, 100%. We have the two dudes wearing.
I'm always thirsty, so I guess you can call it that, I guess.
The 2 dudes on Thursday who are thirsty with hats. Belt.
So that part's been a lot of fun. What I will say is I feel that GM mode.
Terrible. I only play universe mode because it's
It's
exhibition. It's
lost.
everything.
It's lost the appeal. Like,
Oh, did you do the?
why is
Uh,
the if everybody costs so much money
yeah,
and you get so little money per event
yep,
that like it doesn't feel like you're running Raw. It feels like you're running like some rinky dink like show. Like,
right,
you shouldn't start off Raw like high school gyms.
right,
It's,
exactly.
it doesn't it
Raw is
doesn't
never going to start there.
it doesn't
Started,
make
yeah.
sense.
So I froze again
You didn't.
on that game. No, yeah, on that game, I'm just blown away by. I think the universe mode encapsulates GM. It's kind of a little bit of everything. You can kind of get everything from it. But have you done the WrestleMania moments?
No, no.
Have fun
I
with that.
probably
You
never
should.
will.
You give the first 2 or 3 because they go in historical order. Steamboat Savage is an absolute blast, and it looks so good. And Corey Graves' commentary for everything is fantastic, but you can unlock some really good stuff and
The
really
problem
good
is,
people.
once a game hooks me with, I can be my own person,
Yeah.
and once I get into that, I'm not going to do any other modes of the game. It's like with NCAA. I've got my wide receiver. It's my senior year, so I'm really fucking bummed out about that.
Is that what you sent me a picture of the other day? You're at Kentucky?
Yeah. That was my wide receiver his senior year is at Kentucky.
Uh,
But I've started playing MLB The Show, and I have a baseball player who I'm in like the farm leagues. I play for the Chattanooga Lookouts,
that's
who's
another
like
game I
below
have.
the Louisville Bats.
Yeah.
I will say being able to play a career mode in Road to the Show in MLB The Show is fantastic. How detailed and how many games you can play back to, because you could just sit there in about 25 minutes play an entire series with a team. Because
Oh, just because you're
play
only
your
doing your
bats.
guys at bats.
You're at
Yeah.
bats. Because I'm a
And you're
third baseman,
Yeah.
so like about three third base spots per game, and
Nice.
my at bats, and then you move on to the next game. But like anytime a game gives me that mode, where hey, make a person. I always use the same jersey number. I'm always number 13
I was
on
always
every
10.
team. I'm always number 13 on every single game and every single sport. If there's a number I have
Nice.
to put on the jersey, it's 13. I don't know why. But I always love those kind of modes and those kind of games. It makes me think about when I play DayZ. And I love DayZ because it's literally just, there are no rules. You're just living life.
Yeah.
Go get something to eat. Figure out how you're going to get some water. Don't get killed by a zombie.
I think we could have fun with State of Decay
See,
or State of Decay 2.
I think
Just
we could
because
have more fun with DayZ because it's less. There's
we
less
constantly
rules.
we constantly have something to do at least.
DayZ, you can do that. DayZ, you're
Yeah.
building something. You're always
You're
working
building
towards something.
things.
And you've always got to stay alive and you have to survive. You got to figure out. We have to figure out. Hey, man.
Yeah, but
We got to figure out.
this
We got to do water. We got to get water today.
yes, that's the same thing on this. But we're not only surviving for us, we got other people we got to keep alive. Or we decide they're out of the group. And how do we take them out of the group? Do we kick them out of the group? Do we just pop them in the head? Then there could be other human factions and stuff like that. And they'll call us for help. And if we don't show up in enough days, they might turn on us. I don't know.
But in DayZ, you and I will be hanging out in our base thinking everything's all right. And then in the distance, we'll just hear a gunshot. And
That
we
can
know
happen.
it's other actual players who now we have a choice. Do we stay here and defend, or do we go out and find these people?
You make me want to finish this drink.
All right, cheers.
I haven't really played much except for I'm back on Zelda. I'm back on college football, but I'm doing the Dynasty mode. Running with Notre Dame currently. I was at UK as an offensive coordinator and then got the job at Notre Dame.
Do you mess around with Road to the College Football Playoffs at all? That mode?
No,
Do you
haven't
understand how
yet.
that mode works?
no, not yet.
So essentially, you pick your team, and you have to win X amount of games to get to the college football playoffs. But these games are against other real people online. So you essentially have to
Oh,
win X amount of online games to get these awards and
that is
rewards.
that is how season mode works on FIFA or FC soccer, and it's a lot of fun. Like the same way that promotion and relegation works in soccer, where you can be promoted to the next league up or relegated below. If you get a certain amount of points in your games against other people, you get promoted to the level with other people who've been promoted to that level.
So they call it
And then,
relegation so people's feelings don't get hurt by the word demotion.
yeah, yeah, no, you get relegated. Yeah, that's
Okay,
exactly what
okay,
that is.
okay,
Promotion and relegation.
okay. Is does FIFA have the mode where I could be a player and be a dude and be number
Hmm.
13 and just live the life of a soccer player? Where do you start? Okay,
Where do you want to start?
college you start and then you get drafted, you pick what school you're going to. The
Yeah,
NFL you start, you get drafted to whatever team you get drafted to.
yeah.
Baseball, fuck you. You might go to the MLB. You might end up like me and get sent down to the minors.
Yeah, it
You pick
depends
what
on
league
how.
you want to go to.
Yeah, you pick what league you want to go to. It depends on how you're playing. You might be a sub that you suddenly come on in the 70th minute, or you might be playing a game and suddenly they yank you off in the 50th minute. You're not doing that well, or then all of a sudden we're going to send you out on loan to another team because that's how soccer works. Like you've got a bunch of players, you got a bunch of people. You want to give everybody time, but it's hard to give everybody time. You take one of the younger guys or somebody you want to develop for a few years and you loan them to somebody else. So there are season long loans. There are loans with an option to buy, like a couple players that we have with FCC. Like we got a player loaned to us for the season with the option to buy him at the end if like it works out to be a good partnership. So things like that could happen. You could be playing for a team one week and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what, we've decided to loan you out. Oh, and it's to Germany. Oh, and you're a league lower. And so like, yeah, you can be sent all over the world or and then also be called up to your country. So you're playing your league games, but also trying to get called up to your country. And then your league games also the way soccer works, there could be then the Champions League and then the FIFA Club World Cup. There's just everything links together. All the there is a route where every soccer team in the world could play each other if they win the right games. So like in the NBA teams are never going to play the Spanish basketball league and like
Right.
in soccer there is a club World Cup. So like teams qualify for it by winning their country and then so yeah, FC Cincinnati, if they played their cards right, could take on Liverpool, who I love someday, or something like that. And yeah, that's what I love about soccer. There's constantly competition among it's the entire world against each other.
Okay.
I don't know how we got on that subject.
Talking about video games, talking about sports games, talking about the different ones. NHL is the one I haven't gotten back into very much. I haven't picked NHL up
Why is that?
since 22. I've just been playing other things. It's nothing against the NHL games. I just, out of all the things that I've had the time to pick up and play, that has not been one of them. I've tapered off with Elden Ring. Have not been playing Elden Ring as much as I normally do, mainly because I've been really on WWE.
Well, we need to have some matches soon. Are you a fan of the tag team matches?
I mean, I like a tag team match. I got put.
Here's
In a
my
few of
problem.
them with,
Let me give you my quick thing with the problem the previous years is that somebody could just run in and kick you in the head and break up every pinfall every time, constantly, and there was no rhyme or reason. This time they get one chance to do it, and then they can't come in again unless they've been tagged. And it kind of makes sense and it flows more like a match. And I'm saying this because you can't beat my team of Imperium.
It's you get put in these situations though. I notice you really have to put somebody's ass in the fucking dirt in this game. You can't. You're not. I at least when I've been playing, you're not going to get a pin very easy. Like one finisher usually is not going to do it unless it's a finisher after 25 minutes of whooping their ass.
Really?
I I mean, I got it on whatever the default mode is. So
Hit him
whatever,
with the
however,
signature, leads to a finisher. Also, do you have the kick out button on the timing or the button mash?
the whatever the default is.
You want to switch it to the timing, where it's the bar that goes back and
That's what
forth.
I got.
It feels much more realistic.
That's what I got
Yeah.
is the bar.
And the nice thing about that is you always have a chance to kick out. It might be a 1% chance, but you always have that little chance if you hit that bar. So that's kind of nice. But
Speaking of kicking
anyway, kick out of what?
Time
This
for a beer.
conversation. Continue. Time for a beer.
what do you got?
I have bourbon.
You have bourbon? You want a beer?
I do have a beer.
What do you got?
Something that says don't float in the mainstream. I have had it before. I know you know that phrase.
That is Sweetwater. Sweetwater Extra Pale Ale 420. There you go. I am.
And I don't have a
breaking-
glass tonight. We're going out of the can.
Oh, I'm using the Bucky's pint glass.
Bucky's pint glass again. Bucky's
I
cooler.
Do not have a pumpkin beer. I know I had said that I was going to do all pumpkin beers for the month of October, but I am breaking that rule. I think this is a good example of a reason to break that rule, and I'm super excited for this one.
We will see about that.
This is from West Side Brewing
Alrighty.
from Cincinnati, Ohio. What type of beer do you think this is?
If it's a reason to break it, I'm going to say that it's an Oktoberfest or a Bock or a Dunkel or it's a German dark beer.
No, it's an amber
No?
ale. It's an amber ale.
Amber? Oh, okay. I was
This-
just guessing kind of seasonal. I was trying to think of something that might fall in the
I don't
season.
even know if it's seasonal.
Yeah.
My wife actually found this for me, and I'm really excited about it. This is West Side Brewing's Gleer's Geta
What?
Amber Ale.
No way.
Yeah, Gleer's Geta Amber Ale from West Side Brewing out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, wait. Is it brewed with the, or is it supposed to pair? Explain it to me. I'm sorry. I'm so excited.
No, you're good. Here's the description on the side of the can. Prost to Cincinnati's true German or true heritage food. Geta. We teamed up with Gleers to create this deep amber ale, rich mahogany with a khaki head. This ale has aromas of chocolate, bread crust, and pumpernickel bread. The same oats as used in Gleer's Geta contribute to a smooth body and medium finish. So it doesn't necessarily have like the spices or
It doesn't. It doesn't.
meat. There's no meat.
Is there oats in the? Well, I mean, I guess technically, okay, there is. I mean, a good portion of beer already is a good portion of the ingredients in Geta, if you know what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
it's steel cut oats, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
That smells
Ooh.
really good. That's really dark.
That has a good dark color. That's got a nice toffee kind of aroma to it.
Man, I wish you had some Geta to go with that. You know me. If I would have had that beer, I would have had some Geta cooked, and I'd be eating Geta. I'd find an excuse.
I do have Geta downstairs in the fridge. My wife found we bought the big tube from Sam's Club of Geta, so I'm pretty excited. I just have a bunch of fucking Geta one day. If you're listening to this from outside of the Cincinnati area and you're saying, what is Geta? It is a delicious breakfast meat.
Geta is a German-inspired breakfast sausage that is a staple in Cincinnati, Ohio, and northern Kentucky. It's made with ground meat, steel-cut oats, onions, garlic, and spices like mace, marjoram, ginger, coriander, white pepper, and cloves. The name is pronounced Geta, G-E-T hyphen U-H. Geta. So, yeah. Geta can be used in many ways: topping pizza, filling sandwiches, enriching egg dishes, livening up casseroles, topping nachos, stuffing tacos and burritos.
Just eat
Which, they do actually at the stadium have Geta nachos, and you're only at TQL Stadium in Cincinnati for the nacho cart. And I know it must be confusing to people from out of town when you come up there and they're like, "What are your meat options?" Oh, we got chorizo, we got chicken, we got Geta.
I think
So
I think the Reds have it too. They have I think it's
do
a
they?
different company probably that does it, but I think I love Geta nachos. I advise somebody who's just saying I don't know what it is a Geta omelet.
Oh yeah, get an omelet.
The
How do you like your
nights.
Geta if you're just eating Geta? Because this is a big thing for me, and like for example, I am a press it flat, get it crispy, not too thick. I like it crispy. Hit it with some salt. I almost want it I want to I want to be able to crumble it like I'm going to put it on the nachos and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't know if it has
See,
to be that thin, but
I
I
might
like it.
slice
I
mine a
like it
little
crispy.
thicker than yours. I like
Yeah,
to get a good crisp on the outside.
yeah.
If I'll put a little salt and hot sauce on it if it's going in a savory something like a sandwich or like if I'm folding it in an omelet.
Yeah, a Geta omelet with hot sauce. There's nothing. But,
But if
oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
just eat it as a side dish, I'm drizzling a little bit of just a little
Oh,
drizzle of maple syrup on that bad boy.
can't go wrong.
Geta with a little maple syrup. Like if that's your side, if that's your like side meat with your eggs and your toast in the morning, oh,
Yeah,
you're gonna have a hell of a time.
it's a good it's a good breakfast. I mean,
It's a
the
super
pub,
good.
my pub that I love so much that for brunch they do a Geta bowl,
Is that
which is Molly's.
yeah, Molly's.
Molly Malone's. If you're ever in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area, the best soccer bar, Irish style pub. The owners are Irish. That's not a fake accent.
I haven't been there in forever. I do know I love their Irish breakfast. I love they
Yeah.
just make really good food. I know I enjoy their fish and chips. The Irish
That
breakfast is good, but it's one of those things where it's so much goddamn food.
it's so much food. Yeah, yeah.
So
And
much
I
food
mean, to
on
be
one
honest
plate.
with you, another thing, if you ever get a chance and you're there, I like to say that I think I would put their chicken and waffle up against almost anyone else's that's out there. The fried chicken is just something special.
Fried chicken is such a battleground. Like who prefers what company, what brand?
Right.
I like I'm not necessarily the biggest like combatant for a fried chicken place. I love my chicken wings. I'll go to war for some of the chicken wing places that I love.
I could lose chicken wings from a menu and not be bothered by it, I think. I don't know. Like
What does that mean?
I like if you ever see those things where it's like pick one of these foods to stay, the rest must go.
Okay.
Wings wouldn't be one of the first things I would choose, unfortunately. I hate to be the child, but I would almost take boneless wings.
Yeah,
Are
but
you a
wait, wait.
are you a double bone or a drumstick guy?
I okay. I eat both. I like both. I
You're
enjoy
getting
both.
6 wings. You want 3 and 3, or are you?
However they come, because if I'm getting them, I'm usually getting them with my wife. She likes flats. I like
Okay,
drums. Well,
gotcha.
I like both, but if we're splitting, I could totally just eat the drums and be perfectly fucking happy. So
When
like
I was
that's
younger,
kind
I
of what
liked
we'll
the
do.
flats. Now I like the drums because I like how crispy the top of them get at points.
You hear people say, I believe a lot of the majoral opinion is that a flat is the preferred wing. However, I'm not gonna judge people. Eat your chicken wing. Enjoy your chicken wing.
Are you
I
hot sauce or are you the garlic parmesan? Are you
I
the
like I like to do all. I like to try
dry
all.
rub?
I love a good dry rub. That's if I'm trying wings at a new place and you have like, oh, this is our house
House dry rub?
dry
Yeah.
rub, that's probably the route I'm gonna go. And maybe get like some sauce on the side to dip in so I can try like it's kind of the same thing with
Are you
pizza.
blue cheese or ranch?
Blue cheese. But if I'm going, I order both because my wife loves ranch, so we have both.
Works. You guys are so perfect. You just
It's
split
so
up the things
silly.
you hate. It's perfect. You take your flats and your ranch. I'll take my.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
I'll take my drums and my blue cheese, and it's a good time. I love a good garlic parmesan. I love a good lemon pepper. There's not enough well done lemon pepper wings
I'm
out
usually
there in
garlic
the world.
parmesan or some kind of Asian spice, sweet chili. I like a sweet chili. I love those.
I don't like a teriyaki. I'm not a big teriyaki fan in general.
Teriyaki is for my Penn Station chicken sandwich.
See, I don't
Yeah.
like teriyaki sauce. It's not one of my favorite things. I don't really ever get teriyaki anything. It's too sweet.
This episode turned into what's your food?
Well,
Mike, is a hot dog a sandwich?
yeah, stuff,
Okay,
but
cool.
the stuff between bread.
Yeah, good.
Taco's technically a sandwich.
Actually, the day that I went with, I now believe that a hot dog is a sandwich, is when somebody made the debate with me. If you enlarge that hot dog bun, you've got a Philly cheesesteak bun. And I went, oh, that's a sandwich. That's a sandwich.
I think of it. I think of it from a text perspective. It's a sandwich if it involves being sandwiched. So the hot dog is sandwiched between the bread. The meat is sandwiched between the bread. I think that's what, because it's sandwiched, it's a sandwich. A taco, all the items are sandwiched between the tortilla.
Is cereal a soup?
A taco's a sandwich. It's stuff in liquid. It's stuff in liquid that you eat with a spoon. I mean,
Whether cereal is a soup is a matter of opinion, but it's generally not considered to be one.
If we're talking because it can't be temperature. Temperature can't be what defines a soup, because borscht. There's cold soups.
Yeah, there are cold soups.
There's cold soups, so it can't be temperature. So if that's the case, what disqualifies cereal from being soup?
Maybe soup is an actual broth.
Is it savory? Is it the savory versus
I would
sweet
say
element?
an actual broth as opposed to just pouring milk on something.
So, okay, so a soup
I can't believe this is what we're having. A liquid food typically made by cooking meat, poultry, fish, legumes, or vegetables in a liquid such as a stock, water, or milk. Yeah.
So it's infused. So is tea soup. So hold on. If it's liquid infused with a flavor by heat. No, hold on. So if that's soup.
It did say vegetables.
Then tea leaves or vegetables.
Okay.
So then tea is soup. Then coffee is soup.
My head hurts.
Beans, ground up, hot water, flavor extraction, liquid, digest. Coffee is soup.
This has been the most random episode.
That's the title of this also. Coffee is soup.
Coffee is soup.
We still have to do a coffee episode as well. I want to do one where you just drink a bunch of coffee items. Like I want to see you drink a cup of coffee.
All right, next week I'll drink a cup of coffee.
Coffee-flavored things, but also no, like we have to do all coffee-flavored things. How we're like, what are you drinking? I'm drinking whiskey. Like, no, you have to be drinking coffee. What's the beer? Coffee-flavored some kind of beer. We do a shot at the end. Coffee-flavored shot. Like, I just want you to drink coffee things for an entire episode of the show.
I do not know if that would be my favorite episode. I would vomit probably eventually. Like the alcohol coffee combo would not be good for me.
Is vomit soup?
Oh, come on. It is hot.
It's stewed.
Oh, Jesus. Change the subject. Hey, look, I got my bag.
Broken Glen. Thumbtacks. All right.
Thumbtacks. Sorry, I was just trying to change the subject before that got out of control.
So before you reach in your bag, I want to ask you, we had talked about doing the one that we have the same one of.
We did that last time.
Together. No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't. I still have
the mystery shot.
There's another one that we have the same thing of.
Oh, no. Oh, wait. I'm looking at them. I have a feeling I know what it is, and I really don't know if I want to do it.
Starts with an N.
Oh, yeah, it is. All right, we can do that.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Tell them what we got.
So we normally would put a bunch of random shots and grab a random shot and make this a whole Russian roulette style thing. But when we went and got shots, this guy found Numbskull Cool Mint and Chocolate Flavored Whiskey. I'm going to say that again. Cool Mint and chocolate flavored whiskey. This is 70 proof, 35% alcohol by volume. This is from Next Century Spirits out of Zebulon, North Carolina.
Zebulon sounds like a planet.
It sounds like it's
from a
from
sci-fi.
some other
We are from
dimension.
Zebulon.
Straight from the valleys of Zebulon. It has come for you, numbskull, from the valley of Zebulon.
Okay,
That sounds like some like 60s trance band. Zebulon. Zebulon's numbskull.
Oh,
Is it bad? Is it like an Andes candy?
it's gonna be a dessert.
Oh, that's like a junior mint.
Yeah.
I'd say that's like a junior mint or like. See, because I'm not a mint chocolate chip ice cream person.
Then why did you suggest we do
You
this?
found them.
That doesn't mean they're you explain your job as a friend. When I do things in public like this that look like a dumb idea, you are supposed to fucking stop me.
This is why it's a good idea.
Oh God.
This is numbskull, 70 proof. He just did it.
I'm not a fan of Zebulon. Oh.
Oh God, the Scientologists are right. Zebulon is awful.
Oh.
Oh God.
I don't even want to chase it with anything because of the mint. It's like I shot toothpaste and whiskey. Oh.
Oh, I gotta chase it with a Get a Beer just because I have no
sad.
other choice. Speaking of sad, let me check my bets.
Oh.
Oh,
How you been doing on bets? I had a really great day yesterday.
I got a bunch of bets going right now. For some reason, I had $10 free on DraftKings.
Nice.
So I bet all that $10 free today on a bunch of shit. We'll see what happens. Right now, I've got one bet that's looking pretty good. I just need Luka Doncic to make one more 3-pointer. But there's only 55 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So he's probably not going to do that.
It stays on the roof of your mouth a little bit, doesn't it?
I keep smelling the chocolate in my nose.
Yeah, in the last 24 hours, I hit the over on the Suns and Clippers, a 4-leg parlay. Thank you, Pacers, Bucks, Cavs, and Hawks for making me some money there. And then I also hit on the Champions League, 4-leg parlay for Liverpool in their match against Red Bull Leipzig.
Red Bull Leipzig?
Yes.
What a name.
Yes, there's Red Bull Leipzig, there's Red Bull New York, there's a few different Red Bulls.
Ooh, we should be chocolate whiskey assholes.
Oh no, that tasted like a chocolate asshole.
That might be the name of this episode.
The chocolate asshole.
The chocolate asshole. I don't think
Chocolate
I can put that on the
starfish.
internet. No,
Chocolate
we're not going to
starfish.
do Limp Bizkit dirty like that. I love that. I love that band too much to do that. So this has been an episode. It's gone kind of in a bunch of different directions.
Bunch of different directions.
Whiskey.
Next week, I think we should wrestle, whether it's on PlayStation or in person. Let's just
That would
wrestle.
be the episode. That's how the show ends one day. The final episode. Mike and Brendan fight.
No, that's how the show
They
begins one
actually
day.
fight.
It comes in from the music, and it's just one screen instead of two, and we're just wrestling.
We run full speed at each other from off camera. It's like
We
gotta
have the singlets and the Rick Steiner headgear. My cat's biting my foot.
I need the headgear because I'd be too worried about catching one and passing out. But his cat's biting him. We're gonna get out of here. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow wherever you get your podcasts. If you're liking or if you're watching on Twitch or if you're watching on YouTube right now, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check us out on wherever you get your podcasts or new episodes on YouTube.com. They drop a few days after the live one that you watch on Thursday nights. Watch the Instagram at 2 Dudes Wearing Hats. Next week is Halloween on Thursday, so we might do something a little bit different. We might talk about what next week looks like, but be on the lookout for that. Other than that, Say goodnight, Brendan.